Giving birth completely alone in the forest. No doctors, no help, just you and a baby coming, whether you're ready or not. This is how Native American women did it for thousands of years. And they almost never died. What I'm about to show you will blow your mind. Stick around because the birth technique that's so effective, modern hospitals are bringing it back today. The shocking reality. Picture this, 1650, New York wilderness. A Mohawk woman feels labor pains. Instead of calling for help, she grabs some mats, walks to a stream, builds a shelter, and waits to give birth completely alone. Sounds insane? Dutch settler Adriaan van der Donck was shocked when he witnessed this. He wrote that pregnant women would depart alone to a secluded place near a brook, gather provisions, and await delivery without aid of any person. But here's the mind-blowing part. They almost never died. In Europe, 1 in 3 women died in childbirth. Native American women, they'd be back hunting and gathering within days. So how did they not just survive, but actually prefer giving birth alone? Secret number 1. They were survival machines. Native American girls weren't just taught to cook. They were trained to be human survival machines. These women could walk 20 miles through rough terrain while 9 months pregnant. Their bodies were so conditioned that labor complications barely existed. Physical strength was everything. While European women were confined to beds and corsets, Native women were climbing mountains, carrying heavy loads, and living outdoors their entire lives. Secret number 2. The plant medicine arsenal. They had access to what was basically a natural pharmacy that puts modern medicine to shame. Cherokee women drank wild cherry bark tea to speed delivery. Mohican women used root bark to kill pain. They knew about black cohosh for contractions, red raspberry leaf for uterine strength, and wild yam for hormones. Here's proof this works. When Sacagawea had trouble during labor, Lewis and Clark gave her ground rattlesnake rattle mixed with water. 10 minutes later, healthy baby boy. Lewis wrote he was amazed by the instant results. Modern science has now proven these plants contain actual compounds that help childbirth. Our ancestors weren't using folk remedies. They had pharmaceutical-grade natural medicine. Secret number 3. The revolutionary birth positions. While European women were forced to lie flat on their backs, the worst possible position for birth, Native women knew something incredible. They never, ever gave birth lying down. Instead, they squatted, knelt, stood, or hung from ropes. The baby would literally fall onto soft leaves below. They worked with gravity, not against it. Some tribes burned laurel leaves and squatted over the smoke to relax muscles. Others wrapped leather belts around their bellies and pulled during contractions to help push the baby down. Want proof this works better? In Peru, when hospitals let indigenous women give birth vertically using ropes, exactly like their ancestors, complications dropped dramatically. Ancient wisdom beats modern medicine again. Secret number 4. Mind over matter. The biggest difference wasn't physical, it was mental. Native women saw childbirth as a spiritual transition, not a medical emergency. Cherokee women had relatives say special words to frighten the child out of the womb, using psychology to speed labor. Many tribes believed menstrual blood was the origin of life itself. Women were considered powerful during birth, not vulnerable. Compare this to European women who were told childbirth was punishment for Eve's sin, that pain was inevitable, and they'd probably die. When you believe you're powerful instead of weak, your body responds completely differently. Secret number 5. Recovery that shocked. European women stayed bedridden for weeks after birth. Native women were hunting within hours. Van der Donck couldn't understand how they seldom were sick from childbirth or suffered inconveniences from pregnancy when European women suffered terribly. The answer? Superior physical conditioning, plant medicine, psychological strength, and techniques that actually worked with female anatomy instead of against it. What modern hospitals got dead wrong, for over a century, Western medicine dismissed these practices as primitive, massive mistake. The lithotomy position, lying flat, is now recognized as one of the worst positions for birth. It works against gravity, compresses blood vessels, and makes pushing harder. Many plants Native Americans used are now being studied and validated by pharmacology. The emphasis on mobility, mental state, and family support is now considered best practice. The comeback. Remember that technique I mentioned? vertical birthing with rope support that is being reintroduced in hospitals worldwide. Countries like Peru and Bolivia now offer culturally appropriate birthing with ceiling ropes. Women squat, lean, or hang during contractions while getting medical monitoring. Results: faster labors, fewer interventions, higher satisfaction. Ancient wisdom proven right by modern science. What this teaches us, Native American birth practices prove three incredible things. First, the human body is far more capable than we think. With proper preparation and knowledge, even the most challenging experiences become manageable. Second, traditional knowledge often contains scientific truth we're only now understanding. These weren't random practices, they were refined techniques developed over thousands of years. Third, belief and cultural support literally change physical outcomes. When birth is treated as natural and empowering rather than a crisis, everything changes. The herbs that actually work. Let me break down the specific plants that modern science has validated. Black cohosh contains compounds that regulate contractions. Red raspberry leaf strengthens uterine muscles. Wild cherry bark has natural pain-relieving properties. These aren't old wives' tales, they're legitimate medicine. But here's the crazy part. Pharmaceutical companies are now trying to isolate these compounds and turn them into expensive drugs, when Native women just brewed tea from the whole plant. Positions that actually help. The vertical positions Native women used aren't just more comfortable, they're biomechanically superior. Squatting opens the pelvis 30% wider than lying down. Gravity helps move the baby down the birth canal. Standing and swaying helps the baby rotate into the best position. Modern birthing centers are finally catching up, offering birthing balls, squatting bars, and yes, hanging ropes. What's old is new again. The mindset revolution, perhaps most importantly, Native women approached birth with confidence instead of fear. They saw it as a normal life event, not a medical emergency. They trusted their bodies instead of fearing them. They had community support instead of medical intervention. This mindset difference alone probably prevented more complications than any medical technology. Why European women suffered more? European women faced multiple disadvantages: poor nutrition from limited diets, weak bodies from sedentary lifestyles, restrictive clothing that compressed organs, and most damaging, cultural beliefs that birth meant suffering and possible death. Add in unsanitary conditions, male doctors who knew nothing about female anatomy, and medical practices like bloodletting that actually weakened patients, and you have a recipe for disaster. Native women had better nutrition, stronger bodies, appropriate clothing, positive beliefs, clean environments, and expert female knowledge passed down through generations. Modern applications. Today's natural birth movement draws heavily from Native American practices. Water birth mimics the stream settings they chose. Doulas provide the female support they valued. Movement during labor follows their mobile approach. Herbal supplements use their plant knowledge. The difference is, we now have the safety net of modern emergency medicine when things go wrong, combined with the wisdom of techniques that usually prevent problems in the first place. So, would you rather give birth in a sterile hospital room lying flat on your back, or squatting by a stream with thousand-year-old wisdom guiding you? The truth is, the best approach probably combines both: ancient wisdom with modern safety. Native American women prove that birth doesn't have to be traumatic, and their techniques are finally getting the respect they deserve. If this amazed you, smash that subscribe button because we're exploring more incredible survival stories. Comment below. Would you try Native American birth techniques?